I'll start off with what I think is going to become the Appalachia After Dark theme song. Good to see you guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. Let me play this and get this out of the way. Oop, I messed the music up. I did that last week too. Sorry about that. Bit of a delay on the stream. Well, I hope everybody had a good week. I'm glad tomorrow's Friday. I got some fun stuff planned tonight, I think. I'm going to read through some viewer comments, and I've got some creepy piano music I'm going to play for you guys. I've got some creepy piano evidence I'm going to play for you guys. And then we got some Bigfoot news. Big Bigfoot news. And then we got a little bit of news on a story out of Florida. A little Florida man story for you guys. This thing might be too long. I'm doing good, cuz. Good to see you. And hello, Karen Highlander. Good to see you. Good to see you, Joe Daisy. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. So, yeah, that song, I think it's called, and I think it's called St. Patrick's Day Parade, but I think we might use it for the Appalachia After Dark theme song. I kind of like it. I'm doing good. Good to see you guys. Well, I had some viewer comments I wanted to read through first, so I guess I'll do that first. I hope everybody had a good week. I don't know that y'all start getting hit with ads, but I did turn the ads off on the stream to see if it helped any. And then I'll turn them back on for the replays. But let me get to these viewer comments I was going to read. Like I said, I hope. Yeah, good to see you, cuz. Good to see you, cuz. And I saw Joe Daisy. She kind of disappeared off my chat there, but I did see her. Well, good to see everybody. Like I said, I've got some viewer comments I want to read through here. And let me find them again. All right, so this is from, this is on that AI dubbing the spirit voices, and the voices that the guy was talking about was Shadowman's, I guess. But he said probably picking up radio signals. Well, I didn't try to be mean. I wrote back, no, it doesn't have an antenna, and it's running backward on FM. I did tell him he had to try harder with me. I said, it's also a direct response. It didn't radio. Because I asked him if he was a shadow man, and he said, I'm right here. There's no way that came off the radio. And the AI kind of agreed with that there's no way it was radio interference. So let's see here. What else did I say to him? I said the likelihood of these being random is very unlikely. I appreciate the comment, though. I told him if he wanted to learn something, he should just stick around. So I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. I hope everybody had a good week. I'm Curtis Lee, if anybody doesn't know me. Let me get on to the next comment. All right, the next comment. This is Mo, Larry, and Curly Road. It seems we may be surrounded by spirits that use different languages, but AI is the only thing that can decipher it unless we're multilingual. And I had a clip where, so yeah, I guess there's no, AI would understand other languages better than we would, obviously. But I had a clip where it actually, and it was a Shadow Man, where it actually translated his voice into another language. And I thought that was fascinating. So not only did it caption it, but it also dubbed it into another language. So, the idea that that's, just an accident, seems kind of silly to me. Now, I do have stuff that sounds like radio interference, and it sounds like what you think like. It sounds like radio interference. But the thing about his voice is I can cut all the background noise out, and the voice is still there. Like I said, I appreciate everybody tuning in. I hope everybody's had a good week. Let's see. I was gonna read. I got a few more comments. I don't have a whole lot of comments to read through. I was gonna read through a few of them. Let's see. Trader Bubba podcast. He said, "I really like this one." He said, "This could be a movie," and that was the Shadowman video. Yeah, the Shadowman's the scariest thing that I probably ever encountered because he's like, you know, he's invisible, and he can also knock you down. And you don't really need equipment to talk to him. He can talk in a room without any gear, and that's kind of frightening. So he's probably, he would make a good movie, and I'm surprised somebody hadn't made a movie about him, because he's like one of the scariest known entities that I've ever encountered in my life. So yeah, he would make a great theme for a horror movie. And except the scary thing about him is he's a real deal. He's there. Well, I think people just go through and they're so used to just being rude that they just go through and leave rude comments on people's videos and they don't even know what they're talking about. And this came off of shorts feeds. I probably messed up his. He was probably watching like cartoons or goofy videos and stuff, and then here I popped up in the middle of it with the Shadowman and it upset him. So maybe that's what it was. Hey, Cheeseburger 2773. Oh, your ex-wife haunting you? Yeah, that might not be. Well, go ahead and apologize. Tell her you're sorry now and maybe get it out of the way. Loose skunk case on TV. Well, good to see you, Dime Drawer. Loose skunk. I'm familiar with that. I'm gonna write that down so I can go back and look it up. Let me write that down real quick. I'll look that up after the stream. Yeah, I would if you think she's mad enough that she's gonna haunt you, you might want to apologize to her. That'd just be a suggestion. that would be a suggestion. Let me see here. No, I do not know who Loose Gun is, and I don't know what that pertains to, but I'm gonna look it up. Well, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I would if your ex-wife's that mad at you, I think I would maybe try to apologize. It might be a good idea. And I saw Joe Daisy. I don't know are you still here, Joe Daisy? I saw her. I don't know how to back the chat up. I know she was there. Well, anyway, if you see Joe Daisy's our moderator. Thank Joe Daisy for being here. I always appreciate her being here. And I appreciate you being here too, cuz. Let's see. All right. Let's see if I got any more comments. I can't remember. We'll get to that, and then I'm going to play I want to go through we did an experiment last week. Yeah, let's see. I don't know that this is a really long comment. I don't know that I'm going to read the whole thing. Kylie Sweeney, 4240 wrote, let's see, this was on the UFO event, the Roswell event, the thing that I did on the 4th of July show. And says, that's a great account. Thank you for sharing. People have observed similar craft for thousands of years, showing up in engravings in Maya buildings, the Hindu Vedic corpus, and the Old Testament of the Bible. Potential interpretation, it says. And it's just showing up as Ezekiel's wheel in Ezekiel chapter 1 is described as the chariot of fire. They carried Elijah into heaven and 2 Kings 2:11. Fascinating stuff. So that was the 4th of July thing I did on the UFOs. And yeah, that was an interesting story. And I was going to do a thing tonight where I kind of went through the development of the whole UFO cover up, but I think I'm going to save that for Saturday night because I think I've got plenty of other stuff to talk about tonight. So that was from Kylie Sweeney, like I said. And one of my cousins, Santina, has responded to a post about a short about the Shadowman, and she's a teacher, and she said it was interesting. But then Lipshire Morrissey comments, it says, science will be the first to say that everything is ultimately energy or information, and energy is never truly destroyed. It just transforms. And that is true. So that was something I wanted to, that was the reason I wanted to read that comment, is because, yeah, supposedly energy can never be gained or lost. It can only be transformed. So that's something to think about when we're thinking about whether ghosts can exist or not, or there is something after this life, because supposedly energy gets transformed. So that would kind of lead me to believe that maybe there is something else. Maybe we get transformed to something else. I don't know. But I do know there's stuff that I can talk to that I think used to be alive and isn't now. I truly hope that is. I think it is, because if it is, it's not funny. What's that, cuz? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Santa might be real. Santa's not me. I think telling you kids Santa's real. Let me get back here to the chat and say hello to everybody. I think I'm missing people. Hello, JK Productions 18. Good to see you. Oh, good Lord. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I think Scooch Magooch, good to see you. I tell your kids Santa's real. There's nothing wrong with that. Time drawer. Oh, I don't know. I'll have to look. Like I said, hello, good to see you, the human flock cam. Good to see you. Good to see you. So I'm watching you. Good. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you tuning in. Well, like I said, Joe Daisy's our moderator. Joe Daisy, if you're still here, I hope you had a good week, and I thank you for tuning in. So let's see. Was that it for the I think that might have been it for the comments. I'm not sure. Let me go back and look one more time. I keep getting sidetracked. Oh, and then Cradle wrote on the thing about the UFOs. It says, stump me on this one. It says, I guess the pilots could only be lying, or they really did come close to those objects, but nothing should be up there but their aircraft at those heights. It's interesting. So, yeah, the deal with that, the deal with the UFO thing was, it's not like today where, like, if you tell somebody something crazy, you get a book deal and they make a movie about it. Back in those days, if you talk stuff and people thought you was crazy, you'd lose your job and they'd lock you up. So coming out with like UFO or Bigfoot stuff back in the old days wasn't necessarily cool, because people thought you were nuts, and you could just get locked. They would just lock you up back in the good old days. There were mental facilities all over the place. I found that at Ghost Hunt. There's empty mental facilities all over the place. Well, I'm almost. Well, I don't know anything about it, so I'll have to look it up, cuz I didn't say anything stupid about it. I don't think anybody else did either. Please answer this question. Hello, PA Dude 7505. If you had a time machine, would you go to the future or the past? And you can time travel only once, and there's no way to return. Where would you go? Oh my. Let me think about that for a second. Huh. If I could if I go to the future or the past, I don't know, man. I guess I would try to maybe, but if I went back and if I was able to go back and change the past, changing the past or the futures, if I would go back and change the past, it would screw everything up. Like, I could go back and try to keep John Kennedy from getting assassinated. But if I did keep him from getting assassinated, then what would the world be like? And it might be a better place, and it might be entirely worse. I'm not sure. So I'm honestly don't have a good answer on that. I'm not sure what I would probably, I would probably pick something that I would want to maybe try to go back and fix, but I don't know that it would help or that it would work out. So that's the only way I think I can answer that. Actually, I don't. I actually approved username. I don't live in Alaska. I live in Virginia. But a friend of mine went to Alaska and went on a cruise and brought me the hat back. And it's one of the nicer, clean hats that I have. So I figured I'd wear it. Yeah, there's weird stuff about JFK. Yeah, all the stuff with Oswald going to Russia and just all the weird stuff he was involved in. And yeah, I think there was somebody else. I just think there's more people involved in it than just him. The idea that it was just him is ridiculous. And I think that's why, what was his name? Ruby killed him afterward, because they didn't want him to talk. Yeah, I don't know what else to say on that, PAD. I wouldn't be able to come up with anything future that I would want to do. And like I said, I would probably try to focus on something in the past, but I don't know what would actually help. So that would be the only thing I could think of. Thank you. I appreciate that. So no, I don't actually live in Alaska. I live in Virginia. A little bit warmer here. Let me see. I think that might have been it for my comments that I was going to read you guys. Might have been one more. but I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. So that was all the viewer comments I had to read. So the next thing I was going to talk to you guys about was on last week's show. We did an experiment. I've actually done a couple of experiments on a couple of stories. We did one on the Saturday night show too, which is the Gen X files. But I played some audio that I've captured at different locations over the years. And the first couple of things I had played were disembodied voices. And when I played those on the live stream, the AI actually captured them and dubbed them into other languages. So I thought, well, let's try some different stuff. So last week I played a couple of responses that I got from Spirit Box at the same location. It was 3 male voices, and I had another voice I thought was a dark entity, and so we ran an experiment last week, and I played all of them, and the results were that it didn't caption any of those. And also, from my experience, it won't caption EVPs either, but it will caption a disembodied voice because apparently it has the resonance and the sound to it that makes it sound like human speech, so the AI will recognize it. So our test from last week, I don't actually have any results to show you from that because it didn't work. Well, it did work. It proved that the only voices that the AI will caption are disembodied voices, and that actually makes sense. So. That was kind of the result of the experiment. So I wanted to talk about that too. And then I was going to play. I don't necessarily know. I don't guess I need to play this. Oh shoot! I should have turned my speaker turned off. Oh, that's okay, Joe Daisy. Don't worry about it. Hey, Judaism. That's a running joke. My speaker turned off. I was getting ready. I was going to play this little bit of piano music leading into the next piece.
Bluetooth.
So, not that you guys don't know what a piano sounds like, but so you can compare piano music to what I'm going to play for you because it's very strange. Let me get my speaker back on here. All right. Let's see.
Connected.
There we go. Now I got the speaker again. So I'm gonna go play this little piano music and let it kind of tootle here for a minute. And then I got a cool piece of evidence I'm gonna play for you guys. Oh, let's see, where'd it go? Yeah, here it is. All right. So this is what real piano music sounds like. I'm gonna play something for you guys here in a minute though that's like creepy, like extra creepy. So just chill for a minute, listen to the piano music. Hey, Chris PU7MR, good to see you. And the real 124, hi, good to see you. Oh, that's okay, Joe Daisy. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't get it either, Joe Daisy. But you know what? It did it on Ben's stream last night. It did the same thing to me. So that's why I went ahead and sent it because it actually did it. So I don't know. As soon as I typed the J, it types Judaism. So I don't know if a whole lot of people are typing Judaism or not, but you know. So anyway, for your reference, this is what a piano would sound like. And this is a piece actually called Doll Dancing. I'm gonna let it finish out here. And then I got, like I said, I've got this really, really creepy clip from St. Albans Sanatorium where I recorded something on my camera that's like one of the weirdest, creepiest things I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you guys. All right, so y'all got it. Y'all know it. I'm gonna go ahead and scale this, turn this back a little bit. This is a pretty piece, but I don't want to sit here and listen to the whole thing necessarily. I'll be doing a 2-hour long stream if I try to play the whole thing. All right, so let's close it. So now, let me get this. I actually have to look for it. I didn't have this one ready for some reason. I forgot. Here. Let me just switch folders and switch back. It should give it to me. All right, this is from St. Albans. You're going to hear me talk first. the first thing you're going to hear, and you're going to hear something repeat, is Melinda talking. And then listen really closely. It sounds like there's something talking over top of her, and it's definitely not me because I'm loud. Yeah, that was a little emotional piece there. It's kind of sad. So like I said, let me play the spirit box. I guess this was coming out of the spirit box. When I got the spirit box straight, it quit. But anyway, listen to this and see what you guys think. All right, I want you guys to listen to this. This is spirit box, SB7. This is not the radio. I don't know what this is. There's a piano downstairs, but that's not what this is either.
Now you're going up. Now you're going up. Talking. If you can talk into this.
I've never had to walk on it. It's like old time.
Well, that's what I heard.
That's that really bad.
I heard that coming out of this building one time. That's old music.
That's not
Playing from this building.
That's not something on the radio.
And it sounded like that. That's what I heard when I wasn't supposed to.
That's not a radio show.
Can y'all hear that? That's like one of the so that doesn't even sound like a regular piano. It sounds like a kid's piano, which is creepy. There's a piano in the room underneath of that room, but it's an upright full size piano, and it doesn't sound like that. Anyway, that's the creepiest thing I ever heard. There's no way that came off a radio. I'm gonna finish the clip and let you guys hear the rest of it. But listen to this thing. It's like I said, it sounds like a kid's piano. It's really strange. And like I said, it started coming out of it almost as soon as I turned the box on. And as soon as I hit the scan on it, then it went away. But that was strange.
Yeah, because it doesn't say. See, I heard that when I came to this time. I was walking around the building, and it heard it coming out of this building. It sounded just like that.
I'm getting the worst cold chill. That's not a radio station.
No, I don't think it is. Who's here with us?
The piano was down.
That's right, yeah. That's right. Okay, are you not a child? This is not a
Well,
child.
thanks everybody for tuning in. So what do you guys think? Like I said, that sounds like a kid's piano. You can hear.
All right, that's just crazy. I'm
So
gonna stop
you
it right here.
So you can hear. Oh shoot. So you can hear the box scanning in the background. There's still that creepy piano music coming out over top of the box, even once I started it scanning. Yeah, it sounds like a child's piano. That's nothing that's nothing that came off a radio. That's creepy. And like I said, it started as soon as I turned the box on, and even once I hit the scan button, you can still hear it scanning in the background, and the stupid piano's playing over top of it. So that's frightening. That's one of the weird. So I didn't like freak out or anything, but that's one of the weirder experiences I've had. Yeah, Karen, it sounds like a kid's piano. It's like what? Let me play a little bit of it again, like I said, just so y'all can see. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but let me play kind of where it starts. Like probably here.
Answer this.
Yeah.
I've never had to walk on it. It's like old time.
Well, that's what I heard.
That's that really bad.
I heard that coming out of this building one time. That's old music.
That's not.
Playing.
So you can hear the static behind the piano noise. The box. So I haven't started scanning yet. Like I said, when I did start scanning, the noise, and I don't know what I actually did that made it stop. But like I said, you can hear the static in the background. That's the box. But that creepy piano noise is coming out over top of the static, and the box ain't even. There's no way that's a radio station. Anyway, let me finish playing that little bit of that clip.
This building.
That's not something on the radio.
And then we'll play some real music.
That's what I heard when I wasn't supposed to.
That's not a radio station.
No, because it doesn't say. See, I heard that when I came to this time. I was walking around the building, and it heard it coming out of this building. It's not perspective.
I'm getting the worst cold chill. That's not a radio station.
Yeah, I don't think it's
It's stuck on 89.0.
The piano was down.
That's right, yeah. That's right.
So, like I said, you can hear the static in the background. That piano plunking's coming out over top of the static. Like I said, there's no way it's the radio station, but I don't know what it is. That's one of the scarier things I've ever recorded. Well, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Let me play a little. So that was my evidence for the week. My evidence reveal for the week. So that was one of the creepier things that I've recorded. And one of the things I want to do on Appalachia After Dark is I want to kind of make it more like Art Bell's old shows, where it's more like a Dreamland kind of show where there's. Oh, so that's why I read the viewer comments and stuff, because he would do stuff like that. And I want there to be some music and news and different things. So I've got some Bigfoot news coming up, but I've got a couple of songs that I'm going to start using on the live streams of the channel. So this is a piece actually called Demons. I thought it would be appropriate for my live stream. So let me play that and let you guys see what you think about that. Like I said, and then we'll get into, like I said, I've got some Bigfoot news I'm going to share with you guys. And I've got a clip from, I think maybe out of Chicago. I can't remember where the station was. I'll tell you when I pull it up. Some big Bigfoot news. So let me play this other song first. I'll try to close stuff up as I don't need it anymore. Get it out of the way. I don't need that anymore. Well, I appreciate everybody's tuning in. Let me get to this song. So like I said, this song is actually called Demons. Good to see you, Terrible Times. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope y'all enjoyed the song. Like I said, that song's called Demons, and it's from I think the group's called Niviro, Niviro, maybe. Anyway, that song's called Demons. I liked it. I thought it'd be more than appropriate for this show. Well, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Well, let's go to this. I'm glad to. So, did you like that song, Joe Daisy? Like I said, that one's called Demons. I cackled when I heard that. That's a funny little song. It's got a good beat to it, and then all that kind of wacky sound effects and stuff. So I thought it'd be perfect for the show. And if you guys want to, those are free. Those are copyright free songs, and there's a whole channel of copyright free music. So I'm gonna be trying to use some of it in my streams. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought that song was fun. So that's what I'm gonna look for, is try to look for stuff that kind of goes in with the theme of the show. So let's get into this Bigfoot. Let's get into this Bigfoot thing. This is big. This is big Bigfoot news. Huge Bigfoot news. Let me get back here. Let's see. That's Florida man. I got a Florida man story for you guys, but this guy's Florida man with a bunch of money. So here's some Bigfoot news. Let's see. This is a Detroit station. Oh, so it's out of Michigan. All right. So let me play this. I'm gonna play this Bigfoot news for you. This was in the news this week. This is current. Let's see. What's the date on this? I don't know. I don't see the date on it. Anyway, let me play this. I'll see what you guys think. Here we go.
All right, everybody, if you are listening and not paying very close attention to the show, now is the time to just take a break and stare at your screens. Strap in. The legend of Bigfoot is huge throughout our area. The state ranks, Michigan does, among the top in the nation for reported Bigfoot sightings, with more than 220 encounters listed in the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization database. Yes, that's a thing. Most of those reports come from the UP and the northern Lower Peninsula. And now a man known simply as Snake the Bigfoot Hunter claims he has found what he believes is the first scientifically verified Bigfoot specimen, a claim that has both drawn attention and skepticism. So he is sharing his story in a new book and taking the exhibit on tour. So to get to the bottom of all this, we have Snake the Bigfoot Hunter himself to talk about this discovery and the evidence that you say support. All right, now is your chance. What have you found?
Yeah, so let me get back to chat here. So yeah, this guy claims he found a dead Bigfoot, or found Bigfoot dead, and has a picture, and it's creepy looking, and he took it to I guess University of Michigan or one of the colleges, and they did a study on it. So I'm gonna let you guys hear so I got to look into this and see if what he's saying about all the scientific studies stuff is true or not. But this is fascinating. If this creature is real, this changes human and world history. So let me finish. Let me finish it.
Found, and why is it real?
This is after doing a DNA test at Cornell Veterinary BioDNA Lab, we found that this is 58.5% Neanderthal / Denisovan, which is European Neanderthal mixing with Asian Neanderthal, and then this 41.5% remaining, that is human. So what we have is a Neanderthal human hybrid.
Me.
Okay, well, take me back for a moment here. So there's an actual lab that tested this and found that it's 58.5% Neanderthal.
Yes, and these things, that Neanderthal side that has been evolving over the millennia, okay? These things have remained very aggressive, okay? And then that 41.5% human side, which we did find Native American DNA.
Yeah, I don't know, Joe.
So at some point before the Bering Land Strait closed, they might.
I'm gonna stop that right there. So, my cousin, you heard that they said the thing also has Native American DNA. You know, I've always said that my great grandfather was 6'8". He was a giant man. My first cousin Rob He's probably 6'4", 6'5", and both of his boys are like 6'7", 6'8". They're big dudes. I'm 6'2", and I'm a small guy in that part of the family. So the idea that if they did find a Bigfoot, that it not only has all this Neanderthal and Denisovan DNA, that it's also got Native American DNA, I would say that means it's our cousin. I would say that means he's our cousin. So anyway, I'm gonna play the rest of this, but that's yeah, I don't know, Joe Daisy. I don't know why you know. So like I said, I'm gonna look into this. I don't know yet. They obviously, this guy's going around on tour and stuff, so I need to actually look into the scientific part of it and see if there's actually a study behind it or not. Yeah, that's kind of, yeah, there's a lot of, so that's, if this is real, like I said, I don't know yet, but I'm going to try to look into this more and find out what the actual science behind it is, if this thing is real. Because if this thing is real, like I said, it changes everything. And the idea that it's related to Native Americans, related to us, is incredible. So let me finish this up. Let me get back to it. I don't mean to keep stopping. I'm sorry. Let's see.
Migrated over here, but that 41.5% it makes them highly intelligent, okay? And what we're dealing with is a species that is very few. They're highly endangered, and that is why we do not see them, okay? There are very few of them.
So what exactly did you find?
Oh, shoot. Did not mean to close it. I'm sorry. I closed it. Shoot. Talk about screwing everything up. And shoot. Sorry about that, y'all. Let me see if I can find where I was.
Exhibit. I'm assuming that you're anticipating running into
this fall. We're trying to share.
Yeah, let me get back to.
We are just one of many things.
So the specimen that we were just seeing video of, you found that dead body somewhere in Michigan?
No, this is in Adirondack Park in upstate New York.
Okay.
So they found it in New York.
We plan on bringing this body over to Michigan.
I appreciate you being here,
as we can, because
Mr. Nee, but I'm not saying all your name out loud.
There are a lot of sightings in Michigan as well.
Yeah.
And we're seeing different types of bodies.
Yeah, watch part of his documentary, Joe Daisy.
Depending on where you are in the States. So it's a fascinating kind of phenomenon we're dealing with here.
All right. So you're going to take this on tour, on exhibit.
He's taking it on
I'm
tour.
assuming that you're anticipating running into people who believe and a whole lot of skeptics.
Yeah, you know what? There are people out there who put a lot of investment in that Patterson-Gimlin film that was from the city.
Because I can see what it says. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that on a live stream.
All of those people
Plus the other.
have believed in that. All said that Bigfoot was a
Let me stop this a sec. Let me address this guy with the goofy name. I'm not going to say your word. You're messing with the wrong guy. Your first problem is I'm not white. So I would take your name and go somewhere else. I'm not saying that out loud. I appreciate you being here, but I'm not playing games with stupid people. You understand me? Like I said, your first problem is I'm not white, so I'm not saying your stupid name. So like I said, I appreciate you being here. Yeah, I'm sorry your name. Your English is no good. But it's good enough to put that stupid name on there, wasn't it? So like I said, I appreciate you being here. Have fun and enjoy the chat. Let me finish this up.
Great ape. And I'm out here, I've been preaching this Bigfoot Bible, and I'm telling the world that Bigfoot is Neanderthal human, a hybrid. So I'm going to get backlash. And, a lot of people, they disbelieve until they get face to face with an actual Bigfoot. And I tell you what, you get face to face with one of these things, they are highly aggressive. And in that situation, your odds of getting out of there alive are very slim.
Okay. I'm trying not to be too skeptical with you here live because I'm trying to soak this all in and understand it at the same time. Is there any kind of dating on that on the body you found as to how old it might be?
Yeah, so we did study the teeth, and that's basically how you can determine the age. And so we estimate our specimen between 18 to like early 20s. So you have to picture that too. This is like let's say a 20-year-old creature that's 8 feet tall, 300 pounds. And we found in its stomach a diet that's consistent of a scavenger style. So these are opportunity eaters. These migrate vast territories. We think that our
so 18 to 20 years old. What do you say? 8 feet tall. The streams about paranormal stuff. Right now we're talking about Bigfoot. There's big Bigfoot news in the Don't worry about it, cuz. Like I said, I've been doing streams for a long time. I actually used to, back when I first started doing these, I'd get so many people I couldn't keep up with it. But I held my own. The streams about paranormal stuff. So this is Bigfoot news. So this thing's 8 feet tall, and he found it in New York, upstate New York, up in that, what did he say, the Adirondacks? This is crazy. So, like I said, I've got to look into this now and find out but I can't imagine, well, I guess they would because they don't care. I can't imagine they'd had him on the news in Detroit if they hadn't like checked to see if he actually had some kind of scientific background behind it. But I don't know what that means. Good to see you, Jaco Bean 74. So anyway, like I said, apparently Bigfoot's real. He's like 18 years old and he's 8 feet tall and he's dead. I don't, you know. So like I said, I'm going to look into the sense of this. Let me finish playing this. We'll see if we can get through that part. And let's see, that's a Florida man. This is
ours up in Adirondack Park. Live nearby cave systems where they either spend part of the year or use as coverage.
Gotcha. Okay, so when do you anticipate bringing this to Michigan?
Right now, we're planning on doing Detroit area, Chicago, and Indianapolis in November. So we're basically looking for a place to share with the book and the body. So it's got to be a place that can accommodate an interesting setup.
Yeah, and a whole lot of people. Okay, Snake the Bigfoot Hunter, please let me know when it's coming because you and I are going to have to meet face to face and have this conversation again.
I can't wait,
yeah,
man.
Okay. All right, take care.
Yeah, so apparently this guy's going on tour with a Bigfoot specimen. And so if anybody's in, what do you say, Chicago and Indiana and Michigan, if anybody's where he's on tour, try to check him out. See what you can find out about it. Like I said, I'm going to dig into the story more. Like I said, this was Click on Detroit. This was a Detroit WDIV Channel 4 out of Michigan. So I'm gonna look in and see if I can actually see if there's any actual basis. But he's claiming that he had scientific studies and it's like half Neanderthal and half human. And it's part Native American, like I said, which means he's my cousin. Hello, El Mundo Fuego. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a long time. Good to see you tuning in. Yeah, the Midwest is good for creepy stuff. There's a lot of weird things out there in the flatlands. That might have something to do with it. Well, good to see you. I'm glad you tuned in. Well, I appreciate everybody being here tonight. So yeah, that's the Bigfoot. That's the big Bigfoot news. Bigfoot's apparently, you know. Yeah, good to see you, Mondo. Good to see you. Good to see you too. Yeah, I'm still here rattling and a few people watching me. I appreciate you showing up. So yeah, that's crazy big Bigfoot news. I can't imagine. Like I said, they said he's 18 to 20 years old and 8 feet tall. I mean, that sounds like they've done some legit research on the. So I guess we'll see. You know, If they've got some dead guy in a Bigfoot suit, and that's what they're hauling, if he's got something he's hauling around, it looks like a that was a living creature, and it's not some dead guy in a Bigfoot suit, then yeah, this is amazing. Yeah, this is absolutely amazing. Let me get back to the chat here. Well, I appreciate everybody's tuned in. This has been a good stream so far. Is the screen dark now, Jay-Z? Oh, really, cuz? I'm gonna that's what I wondered. If he's, I'm good, 100 years of mainstream investigative stuff too. So yeah, apparently Cornell has denied. All right, cuz I'm gonna look. So it was Cornell that he's claiming helped him. And I'm not saying the guy's lying, but I'm interested if he's got an 8-foot tall corpse he's carrying around. I mean, that's what we're talking about, right? He's carrying around an 8-foot corpse, regardless of what it is. So we should be able to figure something out from this, I would say. So I'm gonna look that up, cuz. Thank you for letting me know. You said it was Cornell University. I'm gonna look that up after the stream, and I'll give you guys an update on what I find out on that. I'll try to do it Saturday night on the Gen X Files on the Saturday night stream. So that's interesting. Like I said, if it's real, that changes everything. But it's, I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry, Joe Daisy. I'm not sure what's happening either. My stream looks okay. Well, hopefully it'll clear. Hopefully you're okay. Hopefully it's not you, and hopefully it's not. Yeah, I'm streaming off my phone, so the only thing I can see is basically my reflection on the phone. I don't have a way to look at it on a computer or another device or something. So anyway, that was our Bigfoot news, which is big news if it's real. Yeah, I still have Messenger. I don't get on Facebook a whole lot though, cuz I don't have it on my phone anymore. So I have a laptop, but I'm also retired, so not having it on my phone isn't necessarily a big deal because I spend most of my time online on my laptop, which is sitting right in front of me. The phone I just basically use for live streams and to check my email and stuff. I don't actually use the phone for a whole lot. Well, thank you, Karen. I'm glad the screen's okay for everybody. Well, I appreciate everybody that's tuned in. Yeah, well, yeah, if you want to send it to me on Facebook, cuz go ahead and do that. I'll get it in Messenger. I'll flip over the stream and pick it up and see what you sent. Yeah, I do have the YouTube app on my phone because it's what like I said, is what I stream with, but I don't have any other social media, any messenger. Like I said, I do have email, and then people that have my phone number can text me, but not that many people have my phone number. And honestly, my phone number was from my old job. I just still have the phone. So the only people that really had that number were people that were part of the business I worked with. Yeah, I don't Uski. I don't even know how. UHSKEEMEEUH. I don't know how to say. I'm from Virginia. I'm from the Shenandoah Valley. I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for showing up. Yeah, Mundo. I don't carry. Like I said, I do have the YouTube app on my phone because it's what I stream with. Okay, cuz I can't actually check while I'm on doing the stream because I use my phone. I'm really low tech. I don't have internet. I don't have Wi-Fi. I basically use my phone as a hotspot to upload videos and to get online, and then I use my phone to do the live stream. So I'm not real high tech. I'm the dude. Link to. Are you the dude who clapped my dad's? I don't think so. I don't think I know your dad. I don't know a whole lot of people. I'm kind of a weird old hermit that stays in my house all the time and doesn't see a whole lot of people. Oh, all the way from New Zealand. Well, welcome to you. I appreciate you tuning in. I am Settlement. Well, hi, is Blanket. Good to see you. Well, I'm glad you caught some of it too. I'm glad you tuned in. This post case was a stupid prank. Say something. Yeah, people do stuff like that. So, like I said, I've had live streams before where I had like way too many people in here where I couldn't keep up with it. Now I don't get, probably 10 or so is the most I've got at one time. But I used to have them where I get like 1,500 at one time, and the stream was going so fast I couldn't hardly see it. Joe Daisy is our moderator. Thank you. Everybody thank Joe Daisy for being here. Oh, that's okay. That's okay, cuz I get, I saw these, I'm sure with a name like that, I'm sure he bounces around from stream to stream trying to get people to say it. And there's some people that probably are dumb enough to say it. And if you did say something like that, they'll go back and report the stream, and then you'll get knocked down or for hate speech or something. So I'm not playing games with stupid people like that. Colonel Nathan Jessup, son, we live in a world that has walls and Colonel Nathan Jessup. Yeah, you can't handle the truth, can you, buddy? Well, I'm an old guy. I've been around a long time. I'm maybe not quite as old as Colonel Jessup. I haven't seen Jack Nicholson in a while. Is Jack still alive? Does anybody know anything about Jack Nicholson? Is he still alive even? Must be. See, Joe Daisy, it switched theirs too. It does it on mine. It does it on mine too, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure why. Well, like I said, I appreciate everybody's tuned in. Hey, DJ Nug, good to see you, Brad. Man, good to see you. Glad you got to tune in. Appreciate everybody showing up tonight. So let me play this next piece of music, and then we'll get to our Florida man story, and that'll probably be the stream for the night. I'm 51 minutes now, and I didn't mean to go this long. Yeah, Santa Claus is a little out of hand tonight, isn't he? I get like that sometimes. I mean, I'm an old dude, and I'm a little wacky, so, and ain't nobody here to stop me. Best burger toppings. Ooh, I'm like simple on burgers. I like mustard and grilled onions, and sometimes sweet relish, but mostly mustard and onions. I'm pretty simple when it comes to burger toppings. Split screen GD. Good to see you, though. Good to see you. Good to see everybody tonight. Yeah, Santa Claus. Hey, I wore a Santa hat for the 4th of July stream if y'all didn't get time to see that. I was wearing a Santa hat. Do I still have it here, or did I put it away? I put it away. Darn, I can put it on for you guys. Well, the 4th of July stream, I wore a Santa hat half a stream. I thought that was fun. Well, let me play this other song, and then we'll get to the man story, and that'll probably be it for the night. I think that's all I wanted to share with you guys. Now I'm sitting here thinking what mutton is. My brain went all dead, and I don't know what mutton is. Bacon's good on a hamburger too. If you get bacon, the good crispy bacon's good on a hamburger. All right, let me play this other song. So this other song is another song that I thought would be appropriate for a paranormal show, and it's called Fearless. Yeah, it's not a lot, DJ. I think it might even be lower than that. But it's not. Yeah, it's somewhere between 30 and 40%. But you know what? That's still a pretty good chunk of people. And I don't necessarily know. I'm pretty skeptical about stuff, even my own stuff. But I do have evidence I can't explain, and I've got things to talk about that I don't know what they are. And like that Shadowman dude down in Old South Pittsburgh, he would make a good movie because he's one of the scariest things I've ever encountered. Like I said, he's like 7 feet tall, and he's, invisible, and he can talk without equipment, and he can knock you down. So that's kind of frightening. So somebody ought to do a movie about Shadowman in Old South Pittsburgh, because he is like all these other horror movie entities, creatures that they've invented over the years. Nothing's as scary as this guy, and he's real. He is real. Yeah, it is millions. It is millions. So I know I'm not going to. And like I said, I'm not even sure about myself. I'm skeptical of my own evidence sometimes. So that's why I go through it, try to see what it is. I've got stuff that I could show you guys, other stuff, and it's on my channel in different places. But some of the stuff I don't talk about because I don't know what it is. Yeah, people don't. Yeah. Well, we're all, it's not like we've got a common we're all on the same page and we all think and believe the same thing. So that does make things complicated. Anyway, let me play this next song. It's called Fearless. And then we'll get into the Florida Man story. So the Florida Man story is actually a case of where where the bad guy actually got something happened to him. And I think you guys will appreciate that because we're living in an age right now where the bad guys don't always get punished. But this was a case where the bad guy got is getting what's coming to him. And I think you guys will appreciate that. Yeah, especially with the AI. Well, the AI has been really helpful for me for analyzing audio. So it's found voices in some of my investigations that I didn't hear and capture. And what they ended up being was really faint, disembodied voices that I didn't even hear. AI yeah, that's the thing about AI. It's so good at making video and music and stuff. You don't know what's real and what isn't. That's the thing. So that's a good thing about all my evidence clips is they've been sitting on YouTube for, some of them have been on here for 12, 14 years. So my stuff's been here a while. Yeah, and that may be part of it too. Some people are sensitive. Well, it probably has something to do with being open too. If you're like an open-minded person and you're inquisitive about the world around you, you're probably more likely to notice things that the average person wouldn't. That's what I kind of think. Yeah, I've got cats. My cats will be, and I guess it could be, sometimes but I've seen my cats sit and stare at stuff that I didn't know what they were doing. And I've actually seen somebody asked me if I've seen a shadow man. I have seen a shadow man, but I didn't see that shadow man. I talked to him, but I couldn't see him. But I've actually seen a shadow of a cat, and there wasn't a cat. I've actually seen a shadow of a cat before. And that was one of the more interesting experiences I had. My cat saw it first, and it flipped him out so bad because he was like over here, and then the cat shadow was over there, and he saw it, and his fur went up on his back, but there wasn't no other cat. It was just him. So that was one of the more interesting experiences I had. And like I said, the cat reacted to the shadow first. So let me play this other song. Like I said, it's called Fearless, and then we'll get into our Florida Man. This happened to me last time. A speaker cut off. I keep having to. I'm talking too much and not getting my thing right. But I guess that's good. I appreciate everybody's tuned in. Like I said, let's get this last song out of the way, and then we'll do our Florida Man story. And like I said, that'll probably be the show for the night. So here's a song called Fearless from, I guess, the group's Tool, T-U-L-E, and then a fellow named Chris Linton. Yeah, they are, Joe Daisy. I think so.
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. Pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. All of it closely. I played it innocent.
Hello, Anna R7S7U. Do I remember you? No, I'm not sure. That's the thing. That's the worst part about. That's the thing I like about Facebook is on Facebook everybody's got their names on there, and I know who everybody is. And everybody gets over here on YouTube, and they've got weird handles and stuff, and I don't know who they are. But I do my best. Yeah, DJ Nug. Having spooky stuff in your house is not a good thing. That's one thing I'm glad about my house. Is my house is not haunted. Even though several people had passed away here, including my mother and my stepfather, this house isn't haunted. There's nothing here except me. I may haunt it. I'll probably be the first ghost. Oh, great, Joe Daisy. That's what I was hoping. So what I'm gonna do from now on is leave the ads off while the stream's live, and that way it doesn't mess everybody up trying to watch the stream, because I think that was actually down getting people. So I'm gonna turn the ads off while the stream's actually live, and then when it comes back and then after the stream's over and it processes, I'll turn them back on, and then people can come and watching the replay can watch the ads, because then I can drop them in where they can better than where they do them on the live stream. The live stream, they just drop them in where they want to and cut you off, and I know that's annoying. Much love to you, cuz. Well, let me do this. That's great. That's great, DJ Nug. No ads. I've encountered all sorts of different energies, from really positive to stuff you don't want to have anything to do with. Let's see. No, yeah. So I'll run the live streams with the ads off, and then I'll just put them back on the replay. Because on the replay, then you can position them where they go, like in between bits. When you're running it live, they just put them where they want to, and I know they cut me off in the middle of stuff, and that has to be annoying. So I'm gonna try to run them without. Yeah, there are spirits that aren't unhappy, but then there's some that are really unhappy, and that's why they're here. Let's see now. Yeah, much love, guys. Good. I appreciate you tuning in tonight. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Well, let's get this Florida man. And this is from my buddy Trader Bubba's podcast. I had written his at Trader TraderBubba podcast at Trader Bubba podcast. Check out Bubba's channel for some political stuff. He's a pretty astute fellow, and he's a perfect example. He's a good Christian fellow too. There are good Christian people, and Bubba's a really good example of somebody like that. But he's a person that is a good person and lives. And I think he might use a little profanity and stuff. But I do think he's a person that kind of tries to live, leave the world better than he found it, which is important in this day and age. So let's listen to, let's get his piece out of the way. Well, not out of the way. Yeah, the positive ones make you feel warm and fuzzy. Like Leo Russell up at Swan and all, she's a very warm, welcoming spirit. Now, I will say, though, that when she was done talking to us at the very end of the evening on that clip, you hear her faintly say, and she had answered the lights on and off, and she said unconditional love, and we got quite a bit of an interaction with her. But when we were in the library at the very end of the clip, you hear her say, "Time to leave." And I don't know that she wasn't necessarily talking to Walter as opposed to me. I think she was telling him it was time to go, because they used to come down the main staircase and meet people in the front room, and have meetings and stuff there. And I have a feeling the way things probably went back then, when they were done talking to people, they just got up and left. That's what I think. Oh wow, DJ. No, yeah, those energy vampires are not cool. They're definitely not cool. Keep positive energy in your life as much as possible, because the ugly stuff will drag you down. Yeah, I've encountered some things like that too, DJ Doug. So yeah, there's some stuff out there that's not cool, and they're definitely not anything to entertain or to play with. And I have messed with a few of them, but that's probably wasn't the smartest thing either. But let me play Bubba's thing. So this is an example of somebody that, supposedly ICE is supposed to be out here going after criminals and stuff, but they apparently missed this guy. But anyway, he is getting locked up. and he's an example of somebody that is a criminal that should be locked up. Let me play this clip from Bubba's podcast, and that'll be it for the show.
Welcome to the news you missed. I'm Trader Bubba, and today's story comes out of Florida, where apparently there was a pretty substantial fraud case going on. We just had some breaking news hit the wires the other day about this, and nobody's talking about it. It wasn't that long ago that the focus was on Minnesota for similar issues, and man, those pesky immigrants. I don't hear anybody talking about this just as bad a case out of Florida.
West 2 News starts now with breaking news.
We're following several breaking news stories today at noon. First, the man accused of scamming hundreds of millions of dollars out of people in a Ponzi scheme has just pleaded guilty. Christopher Delgado could now face up to 50 years in prison. Good afternoon, I'm Sonika Dange. West 2's Bob Hazen was in the courtroom as Delgado admitted he defrauded people.
He says he only has a high school education, but he was able to get hundreds of people to buy into his scam, and now he wants the other people involved in it to face justice. Mr. Delgado, how much time do you think you're going to get?
Christopher Delgado said nothing before heading into federal court, but several of his victims were here, and one of them heckled Delgado on the way in.
Yeah, you look scared. You should be.
Justin Eplin told me he lost $100,000.
I hope y'all heard that guy. I hope y'all heard that guy. Yeah, don't mess with dark stuff. I did a video about Ouija boards. I'm not much on Ouija boards. I think they're just cardboard and a piece of plastic, and the power is actually in the people running the board. Hey there, Trader Bubba. Good to see you, man. I appreciate that. I'm gonna finish your clip up here in a minute. Did everybody hear what that dude said? That was one of the guys that he ripped off, and I think he said, "Are you scared?" And then he said you should be. Anyway, so let me play a bit more of Bubba's clip here. Let me back up where y'all can hear that dude again. That's the funniest part of the whole thing.
Otto admitted he defrauded people.
He only has a high school education, but he was able to get hundreds of people to buy into his scam, and now he wants the other people involved in it to face justice. Mr. Delgado, how much time do you think you're going to get?
Christopher Delgado said nothing before heading into federal court, but several of his victims were here, and one of them heckled Delgado on the way in.
Yeah, you look scared. You should be.
Justin Eplin told me he lost $100,000 investing in Delgado's company, Goliath Ventures.
I think it's good to see justice done. I'd like to get some restitution. I'd like to get my money back, obviously, like quite a few of the other victims, I'm sure.
Goliath promised big monthly returns from putting clients' money into a cryptocurrency liquidity pool, but in reality, investigators say Delgado was keeping most of the money for himself, mansions and luxury cars. The scheme pulled in close to $1 million. He was arrested 4 months ago. In court today, he changed his plea to guilty, admitting in particular that he knowingly defrauded the clients.
You know, it's interesting that it was a crypto scheme. When it comes to investing in crypto, as we've learned from Donald Trump, only the couple of people on top seem to make any money on it. The same thing just happened with Trump's cryptocurrency scam, if you will, where he sold out for about $2 billion. It was like $1.5 billion. With his crypto company. Meanwhile, the investors lost their shirts on his meme coin.
Crypto's a scam. It's a Ponzi scheme. Now they did this. They had stuff. Now the term Ponzi schemes comes from back, I think, in the 1920s before the Great Depression, and they were doing stuff like this back in the 20s, and maybe not like crypto, but they were doing stuff where they deregulated things and let these guys just trade money hand over fist. And what ended up happening, they run the market up so high that it ended up, it wasn't worth what they'd done ballooned it up to, and then the bubble basically popped. But like Bubba was saying, Trump siphoned all the money off of his Bitcoin thing or whatever his crypto coin thing was. So he got all these people to invest all the money in it, and then he immediately sold off his share of it and took all the money off the top, and then it dropped like a rock. So anybody that put any money in it lost their money, and there's no way they're ever going to get it back because the coin's not going to go up because there's no reason to buy it. So if you look, there's a chart somewhere, I'm sure you can find it, that shows how much money Trump made, and his went like whoop, and the amount of money he made is almost exactly, and it's a little bit higher. So he actually profited more, probably because of what he already had in it. So he actually made more money, a little bit more money than what his investors lost, and they're never going to get anything. So let me finish up Bubba's clip here. Like I said, go over to @Trader Bubba's podcast and check out the video. Bubba does some really good videos on current events and goofy things that are going on in the news and stuff. So this is his Florida man section. So let me finish this up.
But why invest in cryptocurrency at all when a safe ETF will do you? But that's the topic for another video. But here we are, another big Ponzi scheme out of the state of Florida. And I'm surprised this didn't make more national headlines. After all, cryptocurrency is all the rage. Donald Trump even said the United States is going to be the cryptocurrency capital of the world. But yet here we are, another Ponzi scheme with cryptocurrency. Yeah, when it comes to cryptocurrency, there's no shortage of people who will grift you for money.
In office, as he faces fresh questions about his finances. $1.4 billion of that money he made last year came from his family's crypto business, which boomed as his administration loosened regulations. World Liberty Financial getting a major investment from a firm closely tied to the United Arab Emirates. Our Mary Bruce asking.
To critics who say you're profiting off the presidency, Mr.
Well, you know why I'm profiting? Because the stock market's going up. Everybody's profiting.
The stock market does not account for the bulk of the president's wealth. He made 3 times more than the year before, even though investors in his family's cryptocurrency lost big.
Even investors in his cryptocurrency lost big. But back to our man in Florida. What about the people that worked with him?
And victims told me there were other people helping run this Ponzi scheme who they feel should be accountable too. Delgado's attorney said the same.
There are people in this community, including some who hold themselves out as pillars of the community, that profited from Goliath Ventures. They may try to distance themselves from this matter.
Delgado says he's responsible for of $250 million in his crypto-based Ponzi scheme. His plea deal references $720 billion in total assets being moved around in bank accounts associated with the scheme. As part of his plea deal, he'll have to turn over his many sprawling properties, luxury vehicles, and an expansive list of jewelry. And he'll have to help the government locate any of those items he's been holding overseas. He promised to make restitution to all of his victims. The government has a website online where victims can fill out forms proving how much they're owed.
At the end of the day, what Mr. Delgado wants and hopes for is that all the victims receive clarity, justice, and eventually closure.
Aww. Well, that's sweet of him, I guess. Anyway, guys, I'm Trader Bubba. This is the news you missed. Don't go
Way to go,
just
Bubba.
yet. I got another video.
It was sweet of him, wasn't it? Oh. All right. Anyway, so at least this is a case where the bad guy got what was coming to him. So there is there is hope. But seriously though, I think this guy was an illegal alien. Why hadn't ICE picked him up? No, they're out rousting people like trying to pick vegetables and trying to cut people's yards and build houses, and people actually trying to work. And this guy they let walk around. So I don't understand things. Yeah, the world just doesn't seem right to me. And I guess if you've got enough money, you can do anything you want to. Well, let me get back here and look at the chat, and then I'll. Yeah, Ouija boards are. I think it's more, like I said, I think it's more probably the people using it than necessarily the board itself. Yeah, so Trump, but like I said, Trump and this guy, that's the only way they can work. The people that start the thing siphon all the profit off of the top of it, and then the people that invest in it don't get nothing. And then they have to sit there and leave their money in it because they don't have any choice. So anyway, so that's our show for the night. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I hope you guys had a good time. I appreciate everybody chatting. It's been fun. Thank you, Trader Bubba, and thank you for the gift there. And thank you, Joe Daisy. I appreciate you being a moderator. I think my cousin disappeared. But I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I'll be back on Saturday night with the Gen X podcast. And I'm going to talk about UFOs tonight. And I get the appreciate you too, Joe Daisy. So I'll be Saturday night. I had some alien stuff that I was going to talk about tonight, but I decided I'm going to save that for the Gen X files on Saturday night. So I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Thank you, Trader Bubba. I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you for letting me use your clip. I thought that was a case. I thought we'd give everybody a hopeful story where the bad guy is getting what's coming to him, and the guy telling him that he looked like he was afraid, and if he wasn't, he had to be the highlight of the whole thing. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you guys, and much love to everybody. And I hope you tune in Saturday night at 11 for the Gen X Files. Appreciate you being here.